told you there is something that you can do today that is going to make you a better student and a better athlete. It costs no money and is readily accessible for all of you. I'm Dr. Jace Peters, sports chiropractor at Omni Chiropractic and proud member of the sports medicine team with Creighton University Athletics. I wanted to share with you some of the latest research on sleep and some tips for better sleep so you can unlock your superpower. I want to start by reviewing some of the tips for better sleep. It's posted in the blog article, which I'll reference at the end of this video, but it all comes from a British Journal of Sports Medicine study looking at the sleep schedules of both high school and collegiate athletes. The first one is to maintain a regular sleep schedule. This is very, very important, especially now when we're kind of out of our routines. Our practices aren't the same. We're forced into at-home workouts. We're not necessarily going to school. We're maybe watching a little bit more TV or having a little bit more device time than we normally do. We need to maintain a regular sleep schedule given a 9-hour window so we can get 8 hours of restful sleep. That's so important because sleep is not like a bank or a credit card. You can't go into debt and then try to pay it back later. It's so important to maintain a regular sleep schedule. Thinking about sleep much like nutrition, if you have a really healthy, balanced diet, then one meal isn't going to kill you if you kind of splurge. Kind of the same idea with sleep. Maintain that healthy sleep schedule so then if you have a night out with friends, you get behind, you don't necessarily get your 8 hours, you're gonna be okay. The next tip is light rules. You want to maintain a really dark environment towards the evenings and seek out bright light early on in the day. That's going to help set your circadian rhythm. Your bedroom setup needs to be cool, dark, and comfortable. A lot of times the best thing you can do is kind of drop the temperature in your room a little bit. This is somewhat confusing as the days here in Nebraska kind of tend to change in temperatures a lot. Make sure you adjust your thermostat. Sleeping with a fan is always an option. The next point is caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine. Obviously, as minors, you should be avoiding alcohol and nicotine. Those shouldn't be part of your diet or your choices at all. But specifically with the caffeine, is the half-life of caffeine is 6 to 8 hours. And what that means is it takes your body 6 to 8 hours to clear half of the caffeine in your system. So think about that. You shouldn't be consuming caffeine past probably 1 or 2. And a really interesting study that was referenced when I was down at Creighton University is that oral contraceptives or birth control actually extend the half-life of caffeine up to 10 hours. So especially for our female athletes that are taking perhaps birth control or other oral contraceptives, you really have to be cautious with your caffeine consumption and at what time of day you use. Another point and another tip is if you're having difficult sleeping is to not look at the clock. Do whatever. A lot of us just use our cell phones these days for our alarm clock, so make sure your cell phone's away from you so you're not on it because of the light rules, and 2, that you're not clock watching. The next point is food consumption. Obviously, we don't want to be eating and drinking late at night because that's going to force us to wake up and go to the bathroom. We want to be it's okay to have a late snack with protein, but I would avoid a lot of fluids before bed just because it's going to force you to get up and have to use the bathroom. Napping is okay. It's actually encouraged. We want to make sure we're napping early in the day. Hopefully, if you get enough opportunity, that 9-hour window with 8 hours of rest, then you don't necessarily feel like you need to nap. But if you do, you want to nap earlier so it doesn't disrupt your ability to go to sleep later. Bed is just for sleeping. That's one of the next points, is that we don't want to be doing our homework. We don't necessarily want to be watching TV. We're trying to hardwire your brain to say, I'm in bed, it's time to go to sleep. I wanted to say that I will post the blog that I wrote on my website. I'll share it with you guys so you can read that. It references a really awesome TED Talk by Matthew Walker, who is an expert in sleep. And then it kind of has an infographic for the tips for better sleep that I just went through. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for letting me be part of this cool project, and all the best.